Hi there. Okay, this is the third one, third episode. Forgot to get ready. So, yeah, so today's lesson is going to be transition or revolution. So first, I thought I'd listen to a song. This is a really nice song. I heard some technology here. We'll fit it on my speaker. This is Waymaker. I really like this song. If you haven't heard it before. No, it's loud enough. It comes through loud enough. So, let's listen to this. Can't look at me while I listen to this music. It's really pretty. This must be a long version. If you listen to Christian music, it's one of the hits lately. I think it's Michael W. Smith.
You are here.
I know he's singing it.
Moving in our midst. I worship you.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Touching. I should dance or something.
You are here. Moving in our midst.
I worship you. I think you just pause this and go get it.
I worship you.
Waymaker, Michael W. Smith.
You are
YouTube.
here. Working in our place.
I worship you. I worship you.
You
Are
are
here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, worthy in earth's place. I worship you. I worship you. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness,
my God.
that is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness,
My God.
that is who you are. Worship you. I worship you. You are here. Every heart. Worship you. I worship you. Maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, in the darkness, that is who you are. Maker, miracle worker, promise keeper, in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. Who you are. That is who you are. That is who you are. Miracle worker, miracle worker, miracle worker, miracle, miracle worker, miracle see that you're working, even when I can't feel it, you're working. Never stop, you never stop working. Never stop, you never stop working.
Even when I can see it, you're working. Even when
I can't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. Promise keeper, light in the darkness. That is who you are. Miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. That is who you are. Light in the darkness. That is who you are. Anchor, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. Is who you are. In the darkness, that is who you are. Promise keeper, that is who you are. All right. That was pretty good for me. I don't know about you guys. Even so if you didn't change it, you probably turned it off. Like, what is he doing? He's listening to music. Hopefully that came through. Just put me in a good mood. Today's message, whatever speech, is pretty simple. It's what do they say? Transition or revolution. And God was speaking to me the other day about some things that were, well, exactly what's going on. And so I've been teaching that the last revival. Now the book, the last revival, the second edition is the one that I get. It's on Kindle, Amazon for 99 cents. I don't know how many pages. I'm just winging it here and just sharing from my heart and my faith and that things will happen. But today it was transition or revolution. And, you know, if you believe me, that, you know, we are headed for the last revival, last revival. How does it happen? You know, do you ever wonder how things happen? And, you know, sometimes when you say grassroots revival, that means like it comes up from the bottom, from from the laity, and you could say what was that, the guy that, Martin Luther, that's kind of what happened with him. He basically made the Bible, among other things, available to the laity at a time when they spoke the word of God, the priest, in a language nobody can understand, so as to keep everybody in submission to the church, and just say, well, we know what's going on, we'll tell you. We're still coming out of that, in my opinion, the last phases. And then the prophetic movement really is, as you could say, that's a grassroots revival. And the reason being, it's mainly for everybody. And that's what we call, now there's transitioning when churches accept what's going on, and you call that more of a transition. So let's say the transition from the prophetic movement to the apostolic movement, and it's just a transition. It's not really a grassroots revival or a revolution. But I guess I'm bringing the distinction because generally both happen, because people don't like change. People in power, they don't want to give it up usually. So things happen, and you can embrace it or deny it, and it's going to happen anyway. That's what God told me. He said, I was talking one day, and I said, why do you want me to do this? What if nobody listens to me and nobody cares? He goes, it's going to happen anyway. So, I'm just helping it along. So like the prophetic movement, I was in Oklahoma area, actually even here in New Orleans. Of course, New Orleans is, it's it's not even that big of a city anymore. I think, 350,000. It's a fairly big city, but it's not huge. But it's famous for Katrina and for music, French Quarter, food, and partying. People come here to party. The Mardi Gras is actually going on now. And I've been there 3 times for the Mardi Gras. But living here, things going on in my life, I don't really have any desire to go. Today's Sunday, and I missed a parade yesterday because I put together a bicycle, an exercise bike. So I put together an exercise bike and got on that and trying to get back in shape. So now I have an exercise bike. And I hope it works for me. Then I found out I'm at the weight. Does not work for maximum weight 275, and that's about where I'm at. So I'm trying to lose weight. So, but back to the simple message: transition or revolution. Transition. Like I've shared this with this word with let's see, 3 churches and two spiritual organizations, and I felt like God said to bring it up because it doesn't always go through. It's not always a smooth transition because change a lot of times it just happens by the laity. We call the laity, and so that's it. So not to worry if there you are, and you like what I'm saying and you agree with it, then you think, what do you do? Well, you just do what you can and move forward on your own. And or you can email me. I'm thebryster@yahoo.com. You can email me there. And I don't know if it's anywhere. It took me 10 minutes to find out how to do this webcam. I haven't got on here in a while, and it's kind of hidden, so sometimes technology is great, but sometimes it I don't know, this computer is fast, but it's kind of dodgy. It's like I have to really look for things, and then to plug it in even to Facebook and YouTube, it's got to fish around because it's not obvious. The original one I had was really once I did this part, I had these pop-ups, and it would pop up. Put it on Facebook, put it on YouTube, and I did that. And I think there was other things, but I'm not familiar with the other things, so I just put it on those two places. So basically, I'm just encouraging people to, if God's speaking to you to implement anything I've mentioned, by all means. Like I said, the book, goes into detail. I tried to share, stuff from the life of revival the last time, but then I realized, in a book you can sit there and take your time and write, and go for a walk, take a nap, and then write again. When you're doing this, the video, you're just set and not really in the swing yet. This is my third one since I started doing it, and I haven't really gone to note taking. I just short notes, and I want to play that song. So that was Waymaker by Michael W. Smith. So nowadays, you could Google it on your phone, and I'll send you to YouTube and find it. That's a pretty good version there. I haven't heard that one. I'm just sharing this because I felt like God wanted me to. So you think, what's going on with me? Well, that's what's going on. I know the other night I was in my robe, and I think it was God woke me up in the middle of the night, was talking. So I just put my robe on. It reminded me of a few years ago when I did a lot of teaching, and that's the way it went a lot of times. I was in the middle of the night, God would speak to me and say, okay, go out and do a teaching, and I do it, So, so short and sweet. So yeah, I got Hulu, I got some TV, so now I don't really have to leave anymore. I got my exercise equipment. I have to go wandering around the streets of New Orleans to get my exercise. And, I guess I should go to writing again because, something to do. But I'm getting nesting. I'm nesting. I got the, like I said, things going on. And so that's about it. Just a quick little jaunt there. A little song that I like, a new song, and just to say hi and show you my new, I'm still alive and well, and so I'm even wondering where to post this one. It's gone on 20 minutes. I haven't really elaborated. So I'm watching this show Manifest on Hulu. I think it's a Hulu show, like Netflix has their own show, and it's about this plane that disappears and comes back 5 years later. But everybody that was on the plane, they didn't age. So in other words, like, and it didn't go very far. I'm trying to think of where it went from. It was a vacation thing, just for the sake of, I don't remember where it was from exactly, but let's say it was from, was it Jamaica? Okay, let's say it was a flight from Jamaica to New York City, which isn't very far. And so it just took a few hours. But anyway, it's about some families and people that get to know each other. But it kind of touched me because it touches on when these people get back, they're kind of psychic. It's kind of like they're led by the Spirit, but they don't know that they are. And then there's this lady that died, and she made a pillow called Romans 8:28. It says, all things work together for good. And I guess that kind of prompted me to do this. I thought, wow, that's kind of cool that, and God was spoken to me this morning about this teaching, and he said, no rush, but you're going to do it. And I thought, a couple of days or something. But I got encouraged by watching the show because it's, one of my teachers on the West Coast said, listen to the secular prophets. And if you say that in like Oklahoma or Texas, where they're really less flexible on their thinking, they go, oh, no, that's not right. But I think there's a point that, people in the world, they're not totally godless, And you think of J.R. Tolkien and, The Ring and some other shows that went on and on. They're like written by Christians that are writing analogies about life and struggle of good versus evil and stuff like that. And so some shows are like that too. So this show really shows how to, in a way, to me, it speaks to me about how to be led by the Spirit. And, like God's nudging you. And it's kind of weird that I was watching, I was like feeling convicted, like, holy cow, God spoke to me and he told me to do a teaching and I haven't done it. And so I'm doing it. And really, there's no scriptures to go along with it. It's just history. The things I'm talking about are transition and revolution. It's kind of history. And really, you think revolution, revolution. And, a lot of movies in America and stuff. America's big on revenge but not, maybe more evolution instead of revolution. The church is evolving. Not everybody wants to get on board right away. There's an old song, I don't remember who sang it, Motown groups, and it said, no one wants to belong, but nobody wants to be left out. So it's kind of like the way change is, Some people are reluctant to get on board, but after enough people get on board, then you get momentum and people want to get on board because they don't want to get left behind. So what if I'm saying is true and you're like, oh, hey, he's got something there and maybe we should get on the stick. Well, when you're up to it. So, I was watching that show and there were some things that were touching me about my life and bringing me some pain and holy cow, they remind me of things in my life and I thought, things are simultaneity. Somebody told me what a case of simultaneity means. And I'm not sure if it's a real word. I never Googled it. But they were saying that means things happen to people at the same time. So spontaneously, simultaneously, things happen to different people at the same time. And, growth. But anyway, in that show I was watching called Manifest, one thing weird about it is, I was thinking about the time, like I was in Bible school and I thought, oh, we almost have revival then, and I was like 30, and now I'm like 60. And I thought, holy cow, that's so weird, where did the time go? But God says he redeems the time. And, Jesus' ministry started when he was 30. I imagine John the Baptist started when he was 30, but then on the other hand, you got Moses, started when he was 80. Can you imagine it started when you're 80? And then Joshua, I would guess 60. So because he was one of the spies, so you figured he had to be 18 at least. He could have been 30, in which case, and then he wanted the wilderness 4 years, so he could have been 70. But my guess is 60. I like to say 60 because I'm around 60, so I feel like I got the Joshua thing going on. Benny Hinn used to preach. He was the head of the Joshua generation. But I think with Benny Hinn and a lot of people, and what I'm trying to take us to the next level is, in the past, we teach, where's the training? Where's the training? Even me, you could say, where's the training? I'm trying to teach so far that you can implement what I'm teaching you by yourself. I did a lot of, like before I went out with a church soul winning or a ministry, like now No Greater Love is in New Orleans. I don't think I'll hook up with them. I think maybe I'll go down tomorrow or Tuesday, but maybe not. Fat Tuesday is the end of Mardi Gras, and that's only 2 days from now. So Mardi Gras season's been about 2 weeks, but different parades. And I'll tell you, when you live here, the difference is, and I'm across the rivers, most things happen on the other side of the river, and when there's parades going on, the traffic's a nightmare. And I've talked to several Uber drivers that they don't work on certain days because the traffic's so bad. One guy was saying it took him 5 hours to get home from downtown, from the French Quarter to, I forget where he lives in a suburb, but he was saying it took him 5 hours to get home. So he's not gonna, he had like the last week he wasn't gonna work at all. So anyway, that's it. So today I'm talking about transitioning versus revolution or evolution, and grassroots versus acceptance of the status quo. And these are things that are going to go on, and why would God want me to mention it? I guess to encourage you that, if you're just somebody on your own like me and you just try to implement this stuff and, you feel okay doing it. So there. All right. So God bless you. There's a nice song and you get to see me. I still got hair and I got an exercise bike, so I'll probably get healthier and stronger. And I'm shooting for 20 years. I was talking with somebody online the other day, and they said, "What do you live every day like it's your last?" And I said, "Well, in a way, but on the other hand, I'm shooting to live. I want to live another 20 years, So, the rapture and the Christian life, it's a sprint, but it's also, what do you call those things? It's a marathon. So you got to, you want to go as fast as you can, but you also want to pace yourself too, so you can do something tomorrow. All right, so I know some of you, and me mainly even too, what was the point of this? Just to bring up some things. If you read about Paul's teachings and stuff, there's a few times Paul just gets philosophical. And Peter said about Paul, he says, some of his things are really weighty and hard to understand. So I'm just chatting, I think there's a time to bring up this today was just a point in a way things happen and what to do. And like here at a church that, I went to Bible school, ran a Bible school, and I send letters to them. They don't really like me much. It doesn't appear that they put up with me. They're kind of at the polar opposite of what I believe they believe. And so we both believe the Bible. We're both Christians. We're both washed in the blood and everything. Hopefully we'll both make the rapture. But their thinking is one way and mine's another. Does anybody right or wrong? I'm doing what I believe God wants me to do, and they probably do what they believe God wants them to do. So that's the point. And if you have a call, you just give what God gives you to give. Teach what you know, preach what you know. Just go with what you got and move on. So, all right, God bless you. That's holy cow, still almost made 30. I'm getting older and slower. Next time I'll probably try to get some scriptures in there, and it's Sunday, so hopefully you've gone to church and spent some time with God. So God bless you, and have a good day, and maybe you'll watch this. All right, bye-bye.